Following the light of the sun, we left the old world. I was born in 1451 in Genoa, Italy. When I was a boy, I loved boats. I am Christopher Columbus. I set sail in August 1492 from Spain as I wanted to find a quicker way to Asia. On October 1492, I landed on a small island in the Bahamas, but I thought I had reached Asia. I sailed in total 4 times from Europe to the Caribbean and South America. I was the first European to visit the Americas. I discovered America, but I thought it was Asia, and I was never successful in discovering a new way to China. I want to be remembered as a brave explorer. The second Monday in October every year is Columbus Day. You can never cross the ocean unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore.
The true work of art is but a shadow of the divine perfection. Hi, my name is Michelangelo. I was born in 1475 in Florence, Italy. When I was a child, my mom was too ill to take care of me, so I had to live with a different family. In 1485, I started sculpting when I was 10. My stepdad taught me how to sculpt. I tried as hard as I could to learn how to sculpt. In 1505, I finished the statue of David. The marble was a present from my friends, but I had to make the statue. The statue of David means peace in the world. I was forced to paint the Sistine Chapel. It took me 4 years to paint it. The person who forced me was the head of the Sistine Chapel. I painted over 400 life-size figures on the Sistine Chapel. I don't want to be remembered as a great artist. I want to be remembered as a hardworking, peaceful, and respectful man. I saw the angel in the marble and carved until I set it free.
I'd rather be a beggar and single than Queen and Mary. Hi, I'm Queen Elizabeth I. I was born in 1533. My dad, King Henry VIII, wanted a boy, not me. He had my mother, Anne Boleyn, killed. When I got a little older, I loved reading books and I was homeschooled. Girls weren't allowed to go to school back then. My cousin Mary of Scots was plotting against me, so I had her killed. I was queen for 44 years, and that was rare back then. 3 times the plague struck England during my reign, and I survived smallpox. I was put in jail because my cousin Mary married a guy no one liked and thought I was going to take the throne from her when I was not. I want to be remembered as brave queen who defeated the Spanish Armada. I have the heart of a man, not a woman, and I'm not afraid of anything.
It is better to offer no excuse than a bad excuse. Hello, my name is George Washington. I was born on February 22nd, 1732. When I was young, I was the first president of the United States of America. When I was young, I cut down a cherry tree for my family. The first Thanksgiving proclamation was issued by me, President Washington. My second inaugural address was the shortest ever delivered. It was delivered in only 2 minutes and 135 words. When I was young, I lived in a huge house located in Mount Vernon. I want to be remembered as the first president of the United States of America and a general that fought for peace to America. It is better to be alone than in bad company.
Everything I do is for my people. I was born in 1789 in the tribe from the Shoshone tribe. My people were sometimes called the Snake Indians because we lived right near the Snake River. I am Sac Julia.
I had many different names. One of them was Sacagawea, which means bird woman. I was torn from my family and never thought I'd see them again. I helped Lewis and Clark and explored the Louisiana Purchase, which was requested by Thomas Jefferson. I helped the Courts Discovery translate, I guided, and I farmed food when the explorers were hungry. I walked thousands of miles while carrying my baby on my back and taking care of him. I want to be remembered as a brave and courageous woman who helped Lewis and Clark in exploring the West that made the United States bigger. Amazing the things you find when you bother to search for them.
You can fool all the people some of the time and some of the people all the time. You cannot fool all the people all the time. Hi, my name is Abraham Lincoln. I was born on February 12, 1809. I walked 2 miles to go to school and back. When I was 7, I moved to Indiana. There, I chopped wood to make a log cabin. I was the 16th President of the United States of America. I married Mary Todd and had 4 sons. The day after I freed slaves, I died. Despite the fact her country was divided, I won the Civil War and freed slaves forever. I want to be remembered by being a president and freeing slaves and keeping the country united. America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedom, it will be because we destroyed ourselves.
Suffrage is the pivotal right. Hi, my name is Susan B. Anthony. I was born February 15, 1820. When I got a little bit older, I went to boarding school. I am a very smart girl who learned to read when I was only 3. I loved to learn and read, but sometimes it was hard. In 1851, I met a girl named Elizabeth. We teamed up for women's rights and made a newspaper about women's rights. I believe that the law against women's rights could be changed, and it was. I went to the Women's Convention to change. I thought so big in my dream that the day came and I died, and I was not able to accomplish my dream. The day may be approaching that the whole world will recognize women as equal as men. The world is a place where you should do your thing of rights. Hi, I'm Florence Nightingale. I was born May 12, 1820. In 1837, I heard a strange voice and sounded like God. The strange voice told me to serve. In 1845, I went to nursing school, even though my parents didn't want me to. I studied and studied before sunrise, so no one would see me. In 1854, I led a group of nurses to Turkey to nurse soldiers in the Crimean War. In 1860, I opened the Nightingale Training School for nurses in London as I was proud of my work. Do you know why my name is Florence? Well, it's because I was born in Florence, Italy. I'm to be remembered not just a brave nurse, but helping and serving soldiers, also doing my part in the world. The world is part of everyone's life. Every great dreamer begins with a dream. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember you have the strength and patience to reach for the stars and change the world. Hi, my name is Harriet Tubman. I was born in Maryland. The year was 1821. I do not know what day I was born on. It was never written down. When I was 6, I was sent away from my family. I had to work and I wasn't getting paid. I lived in a 1-room cabin. I had 1 dress and no shoes. In 1849, I ran away and I found the Underground Railroad.
Slaves were staying in other people's homes. I lived in New York with my family when I was freed from slavery. I helped over 3,000 slaves escape up to the northern states. I want to be remembered by someone who inspired people to be brave and never give up. I crossed the line. I was free, but there was no one to welcome me to the land of freedom. Caramels are a fad. Chocolate is a permanent thing. I was born on September 13, 1857, in a farm near Dairy Church, Pennsylvania. I am Milton Hershey. I opened my own candy shop when I was only 18, but I had to close it. I did not give up. I opened a second store, but that failed too. I opened the Milton Hershey School, made chocolate, and built the town of Hershey, Pennsylvania. I made caramels before chocolate. The caramel that made me famous was called the Crystal Egg Caramel. I started the Hershey Chocolate Company. Did you know I almost sailed on the Titanic, but because of a meeting, I had to change plans and take a different ship? I would like to be remembered as a man who made chocolate popular in the U.S., so now people all over the world enjoy it. If we had helped 100 children, it would have all been worthwhile.
Happiness isn't what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Hi, my name is Gandhi. I was born on October 2nd, 1869 in Porbandar, India. In my early life, I wanted to study English when I was 18 years old. Then I went. I wanted to get better at English and wanted to be a lawyer in India. I fasted to change unfair laws when I was arrested. I used satyagraha, which means working for change without using violence. I won 5 nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize. I believe deeply that every person is of equal value. I believe that we should all fight with peace. I read books about how to treat people well. The British were defeated not by guns, but by passive resistance. I walked 241 miles to change the salt law. Many of my followers came with me. We all got arrested. I want to be remembered as a person who never quit for fighting for equality and peace, and a person who changed India. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others.
Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow. Hi, my name is Helen Keller. I was born in Alabama on June 27, 1880. When I was about 2, I got a sickness that left me deaf and blind. In 1902, I attended Radcliffe and graduated with honors in 1904. Then I published the story of my life. And did you know I love dogs? I owned a variety of them through my life. And it's funny because my favorite food is hot dogs. Also, during my life, I met 14 U.S. presidents and many people with disabilities too. My teacher was Anne. I learned to talk by Anne writing words in my hand. Then I would touch the item she was writing. This is how I learned to communicate. I want to be remembered as a woman who can accomplish many things, even being deaf and blind. Life is either a great adventure or nothing.
just can't beat the person who never gives up. Hi, my name is Babe Ruth. I was born February 6, 1895 in Baltimore, Maryland. I was raised in a very poor family. My parents could no longer support me, so when I was 7 years old, I was sent to St. Mary's School for Boys. This is where I learned to play baseball. In 1910, I signed with the Baltimore Orioles as their pitcher. This is the beginning of my historic career. I was one of the first valued inductees to go to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. I was a part of 3 World Series teams with the Boston Red Sox. I hit 60 home runs in 1 season. Baseball will always be the best game in the world. I want to be remembered as a kind and loved MVP baseball player. If it wasn't for baseball, I'd either be in the penitentiary or the cemetery.
The most effective way to do it is to do it. Hi, I'm Amelia Earhart. I'm parents for flying in a plane. Here's what started it all. When I was 7, I was very adventurous, so I once put 2 pieces of wood inside my house and put a ladder on the side. I put a wooden pike box with some roller skate wheels and I slid down it. It felt just like flying. I got many gifts that boys usually get and a very boyish behavior. I love swimming in the winter and playing soccer and basketball. I was the first one to fly across the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean, and I flew around the world with a navigator named Fred Noonan. I wrote books about my flights, and I wrote a poem called Courage. I had many different jobs, such as a photographer, a fashion designer, and a nurse's aide. I moved a lot and loved sports. When I got married, I never changed my name, and I saved over $1,000 for my flight lessons. Even though I was a very inspiring person, I want to be remembered as a woman who worked hard for the sake of girls. For back then, women weren't allowed to do as much as men could. So please, follow your dreams and never interrupt someone doing something you said couldn't be done.
I always like to look on the optimistic side of life, but I'm realistic enough to know that life is a complex matter. Hi, my name is Walter Disney, Walt Disney for short. I was born in Kansas on December 5th, 1901. As a kid, I loved drawing and painting. I wasn't the best in school, but I was the class clown. I liked to draw animals in the corner of my books, and every time I flipped the page, the animals seemed to move. At the age of 14, I went to Radcliffe School and got a degree for art. After, when I graduated from college, I moved to Hollywood, California, and started a business with my brother called Disney Brothers Studios. I made a character called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit that a company stole it. I was in a lot of depression and didn't have a lot of money. So I thought, I couldn't make another rabbit. I decided a mouse was a perfect idea. This is when I made Mickey Mouse. It was a big hit. There was even a Mickey Mouse Club. After Mickey was created, a company convinced my employees to leave me and work for them. My next big move was called Disney's Folly Snow White. Since then, I've never looked back. Today, nearly 120 million people visit one of the 11 theme parks each year that all started because of a mouse. I want to be remembered as a person who is creative and spread happiness around the world by making happy characters in happy places. Did you know that one day I brought a field mouse on a string into school as a kid, and even one girl screamed? That's how I got the thought of the character Mickey Mouse. You can design, create, and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it takes people to make the dream a reality.
How did it get so late so soon? It's night before it's afternoon. December is here before June. My goodness, how the time has flown. How did it get so late so soon? Hi, my name is Theodore Seuss Geisel, or for short, Dr. Seuss. I was born on March 2nd, 1904, in Springfield, Massachusetts. Today is my birthday. When I was young, I went to the zoo a lot. I brought papers and pencils to draw the animals. I wasn't very good. When I was a child, people called me Ted. If they didn't call me Ted, they would call me Theodore.
And saying Theodore a bunch of times gets tiring. I wrote and illustrated, not just wrote, 44 books. Isn't that amazing? Just one person did 44 books on their own. You know what? That's more than amazing. That's so delicious. My first book came out in 1937. It was Do You Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street? A great book. My favorite book was The Cat in the Hat. As you can see, my favorite character was the Cat in the Hat. My last book was Oh, the Places You'll Go. All three great books. When I was a baby, to put me to sleep, my mom stood her chant she used to work she used at the bakery she used to work at. Every time the chants got in my head, and every time I wrote a book, these words started to connect and made rhymes. That's how I got my rhymes. I want to be remembered as a person who wrote children's books, but a person with a creative mind and a wonderful imagination that loves children. We're never too old, too wild to pick up a book and read to a child. I paint my own reality. The only thing I know is I paint because I need to, and I paint whatever passes through my head without any other concerns. Hi, my name is Frida Kahlo. I was born on July 6, 1907 in Culiacan, Mexico. When I was young, I got a sickness called polio. I painted and bettered my life until I got married. Once I met Pablo Picasso in Paris. He made me a clay earring shaped as a hair. My most famous pictures are self-portraits. I love to draw them. I was originally named Frida for my grandma. I love my name. I got hurt badly on a trolley. I piped it all the way through my head. I want to be remembered by painting the other thing. I love you more than my own skin, and I love my skin. I knew someone had to take the first step, and I made up my mind not to move. Hi, I'm Rosa Parks. I was born February 4th, 1913. I was small when I was a kid, but I didn't care. When I was 11, as I was walking from home school, a boy on roller skates came zipping by and shoved me. He thought I'd be an easy target, so I shoved him back. When I was young, my school only had one room for all of us and one teacher. You're probably wondering why we took our books home from school every day. Because we were worried that people who didn't like the color of our skin, they would burn our school down. If you were a black person, you had to get in the back of the bus and ride in the back. But I got in the front of the bus. On December 1st, 1955, I was on the city bus. It was crowded with people, and there was one white man standing. The bus driver saw him standing and asked for the seats, but I refused. So the bus driver said, "Well, I'm going to have to get you arrested." And I did get arrested. But a couple minutes later, Raymond, my husband, came to get me. I was more than excited to see him. And then I started a boycott on the buses, and everyone followed. Since I started the boycott, the president passed a bill against segregation. I was the first woman to stand up for civil rights. I want to be remembered as a brave person who would not give up and stand up for the people that were black, and a very, very strong and tough woman. Each person must live their life as a model for others. Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. Hi, my name is John F. Kennedy. I was born on May 27, 1917. I was raised to play hard and play to win. In 1939, I wrote a bestseller book called Why England Slept. And in 1957, I won the Pulitzer Prize for Profiles in College. I
started my political career by being elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. In 1943, I won the Marine Corps Medal and Purple Heart Medal for saving my crew in World War II. I want to be remembered for being a good leader in a short amount of time. Things do not happen, things are made to happen.
Above anything else, I hate to lose. Hi, my name is Jackie Robertson. I was born on January 31st, 1990 in Kayla, Georgia. When I was born, my dad left my family and I was very sad. My mom took care of my brother, sister, and me, but that didn't stop me. I played 4 sports at college, while at UCLA, and was a great athlete. But I served in the U.S. Army and fought for my country. But I'm known for being the first African American to play Major League Baseball. I played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. In 1955, I helped the Dodgers win the World Series. Playing baseball was hard as I was not treated equally because of my dark skin. But I fought through it. Not only was I the first black player named in the Baseball Hall of Fame, but helped other black players get the respect they deserve. How you played in yesterday's game is all that counts. A ballerina takes up skinder and makes them her own. Each individual brings something different to the same role. Hi, my name's Maria Tulsi, and I was born in 1925 in Fairfax, Oklahoma. At the age of 3, I started dancing. When I went on point, I almost broke my toes. In 1933, my family and I moved to Los Angeles to learn from the best dance teachers. In 1942, I went to New York City and joined the ballet club. While in New York City, I met my first husband, George Balanchine. He was a famous choreographer. I was famous for my role as a sugar plum nutcracker and as a swan at Swan Lake. I danced in front of kings, queens, and presidents. I want to be remembered as the first Native American prima ballerina who changed the world of ballet. Above all, I want to be appreciated as a prima ballerina who happened to be a Native American, never as someone who was American Indian prima ballerina. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Hi, my name is Martin Luther King Jr. I was born on January 15th, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. First, my name was Michael. Then my dad, Martin Luther King Sr., changed mine to Martin Luther King Jr. After going to a speech convention, I had to drive around 119 miles to get back home. First, the bus driver told me to move to the back. As I did, I was very furious, but I did not fight back. In 1963, I delivered my most famous speech, I Have a Dream, in Washington, D.C. The following year, I received the Nobel Peace Prize. I led a march that lasted 5 days to prove to people that segregation was wrong. In 1968, I was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee by James Earl Ray. I want to be remembered as a man who stood up to end segregation, not by fighting, but by using my words peacefully. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. I guess we all like to be recognized, not for one piece of our fireworks, but for the ledger of our daily work. Hi, I'm Neil Armstrong. I was born on August 5th, 1930. I first started to like space when my dad took me to an air show. And guess what? I actually practiced being on the moon. I I went to the moon with Michael Collins, and I planted the American flag on the moon. I worked really hard to go to the moon. I got my pilot's license before I got my driver's license. I was a teacher and a reporter after I went to the moon, and I had to jump out of a plane. I got picked out of 9 pilots to go to the moon. Before any pilot goes to space, they have steak and eggs for breakfast. I was fearless and brave, and I worked really hard to go to the moon, and it was hard to go to the moon. I also became popular as I hit the spotlight. I had experienced a lot of interviews and did a lot of advertisements on TV. I want to be remembered as the first explorer of an unknown place. My love for flying took me all the way to the moon. This is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I was born to play baseball. Hi, my name is Roberto Clemente. I was born in Puerto Rico on August 18, 1934. I was the 5th child in family and was very important. My parents taught me to be a good person, and later I became the pride of Puerto Rico. I was the first Black Latino to make a big difference in baseball history. I was a fast runner and had a strong arm for throwing. I was the batting champion in the 1960s when we went to the World Series. I was named the most valuable player for the 1971 World Series. In 1972, I hit my 3,000th career hit. No wonder I was known as the pride of Puerto Rico. I want to be remembered as a good baseball player, a kind man, and someone who worked hard and respected others. If you have a chance to accomplish something that will make things better for people coming behind you, and you don't do that, you are wasting your time on earth.
I never expected to be anybody important. Hi, my name is Elvis Presley, but people call me the King. I was born in Tupelo, Mississippi in 1935. I was very poor. My mom could not get a doctor, so she had me and my twin at the house. Sadly, my twin died at birth. I thought about him my whole life. We had a bathroom right outside of my house. Instead of a toilet, there was a hole in the ground. There were only 2 rooms in my house. I made 31 movies and even more songs. I learned to play my guitar by reading a book, and I figured out where to put my fingers. I went to the army too. I never fought in any battles, but I did travel to Germany to entertain the troops. At first, people did not like the clothes I wore on TV, but in 1956, I was considered the king of rock and roll. I don't want to just be remembered for a great singer, but for a boy who went through ups and downs. Man, I really like Vegas. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let others' opinions drown out your own inner voice, and most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Hi, my name is Steve Jobs. I was born on February 24th, 1955 in San Francisco, California. When I was young, I helped my dad build electronics. When I was 13, I discovered a missing part for my Heath kit. It was made by Hewlett-Packard. So I opened the phone book and called Bill Hewlett, one of the founders of the company. By the end of the phone call, he had offered me a summer job and a bag of parts. When I was 19, I went to India in 1974. I wanted to think about what to do with my life. I started Apple Computer in my garage and also sold my Volkswagen van to get enough money to start the company. I was dyslexic and I still became a very smart person. But I might see words scrambled, like the, for instance. I might see the spelled H-E-T. I want to be remembered as someone who changed the world through technology and proved anything is possible. Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith.